Hey guys, it's Dave Roosevelt. I wanted to give you a quick wrap up on Print18 in Chicago, which we just got back from. So there's 5 things that stood out to me as I looked around the show there and as I had conversations with people. Number 1, there were definitely fewer people at the event, okay? So it's not like years prior where it was just teeming with people. In fact, you probably remember when both sides of the hall were filled. Do you remember that? And also we used to have a second floor. It's not like that anymore. It's a lot smaller. But the conversations were of good quality, high quality. And so there's definitely still money to be made from an exhibitor's perspective, and there's still definitely opportunity for the attendees to learn something and get value. Now, one friend that I spoke to, another exhibitor, another vendor there, said that this was hands down the best show that he's ever been to. He signed business at the show, as did we at Mindfire, and that's something that I heard from a few others too, that even though there were a lot fewer people, the show was still good quality for them, both on the attendee side as well as on the exhibitor end. Now, of course, Heidelberg wasn't there. They haven't been there in many years, like 10 years. And also a big surprise to me was EFI was not there. No presence from EFI at all. So that's number 1. Even though there were fewer people, the quality of the conversation, the quality of the attendees, the quality of the exhibitors was still very good. So here's number 2. This is really more for the exhibitors than it is for the attendees, but it should help the attendees. Here's what I'm wondering. Why don't we exhibitors, maybe the smaller ones, I'm not talking about the big guys, but why don't the smaller ones work together instead of against one another? Here's what I mean. For example, if I'm friends with another exhibitor and I know they have a complimentary service or product and somebody signs up for that service, why don't I think about maybe talking to that same person and see if I can help them as well? If someone's opened their wallet once, they're likely to open it again, right? They're probably in the mood to invest. So I'm just wondering, exhibitors, everyone else who's there at the show trying to engage new customers, why don't we work together? If you're interested in that, let me know, and let's figure out how to do that before the next show. So that's number 2, just curious why exhibitors don't work together more. Now, number 3, speaking of exhibitors and folks who are attending, I'm really sorry for this, but I went by a few booths where I was interested in finding out more about the product, about the offering. I left my card. I left my phone number. I said, text me, call me, email me when the right person is here to talk. Nothing happened. No one ever emailed me. No one ever called me. No one ever texted me. Nothing. How do they know that I'm not ready to buy something, right? So for those of you who are exhibiting at the show and you've got people there who don't know how to follow up, man, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your time. If you're an owner or if you own the business unit that's paying people to be there at the show and they're not trained on how to do this, you're missing out, men and women. So I don't know what the deal is, but I went by some very big names, and this happened to me more than once. So that was kind of disappointing, but that's the 3rd thing, really a lesson to the other exhibitors out there. And if you're attending a show and you're not getting what you want, you may have to follow up, which is a sad state of affairs for an exhibitor there, but that's something else I noticed. Now, the 4th thing that I saw was that there's definitely generational change going on here within these print companies. So let's say Grandpa started the company, right? Grandpa has probably since moved on or passed away, unfortunately, and has given the company over to the next generation. And what I'm starting to see is that next generation is now handing it over to the grandchild. So whereas the grandfather said, you know, ink is everything we do, the son or the daughter that he handed the company to, usually at least from our view, is a little bit more open to change and trying new technology. But what I'm finding is the grandchildren, in many cases, are very open to change. They're looking for new technology. Yes, we print, but we also can do a lot of other things. We shouldn't be just stuck in that box of just being a printer. And so that's a really interesting thing for me at my company, at Mindfire, and for others, because this 3rd generation, hey, look, we know that these print companies are largely family owned, right? But this 3rd generation has a different mindset as they're taking over these companies and as they take the next steps for their organizations. I see a lot more openness and a lot more willingness to explore new ideas. So 5th and final thing here, I really heard this echoed many times. This theme came through from the keynote where Seth was speaking, as well as a few other events, that, you know what, you really don't find growth as a print company by selling more print per se. You find growth by creating new products, new applications of print, and selling those usually into new markets. Okay, so you're not going to grow your business by just selling print. It's got to be printed products, new types of printed products that you break into new markets with. And so there's a lot of new technologies, a lot of new applications for print. There are definitely some growth areas within the print market that you should be in tune with. If you want to know more, hit me up. I'll give you some of those. But print is something that, while overall has definitely come down over the past 10 to 20 years, there are definitely still areas of growth within that space. So that's what we're committed to helping printers do. We want to help you grow your business, grow your leads, grow your sales. If there's anything I can do to help you, please hit me up either here in the comments, somewhere around this video. There's a way for you to interact with us. And let me know if these 5 points have been useful to you. Until next time, have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.